Monica McIver, swing your hips around, body slamming ISIS. It's unthinkable. I know it's hilarious and we use it for content, but think about a congresswoman in the United States going to a law enforcement agent and slamming into them, and it is not front page news for the rest of the year. It's so much violence that comes from the left. They've normalized it to such an incredible degree, but good for Trump for standing up to them.
Well, we actually had the FBI director, speaking of the lawlessness of these people, Kash Patel, was on with Joe Rogan talking about what the left has tried to do to him of late. Watch. He was talking about the, attempt to reveal publicly his home address, personal details about him.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
We have it now. Let's listen.
My house just got swatted yesterday.
What?
Yeah, but...
You got swatted?
Oh, yeah.
The head of the FBI gets swatted?
Yeah. Yeah. These people play, it's the ultimate height of hypocrisy. They have two sets of rules. One against you and one for them.
Yeah, and meanwhile, as you said, Alex, Karen Bass equating ICE with terrorists. Scale of 1 to 10, how dumb is this? Scale of 1 to 10, we got to go. How dumb is this for the Democrats?
I just think they're going to wait until someone innocent gets killed before they stop.
And as director of the FBI, I have a responsibility. I'm not just going to bring a case because somebody hurt me. They did, and they continue to do it. Shit, my house just got swatted yesterday.
What?
Yeah, but...
You got swatted?
Oh, yeah.
The head of the FBI gets swatted?
Yeah. Yeah.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Wow. Yeah, it's getting real, you guys. Again, we told you it's no joke at all with this current administration and what we're fighting against and the corrupt machine, and this is why we say prayers for this administration, but things like this are actually taking place, we know that one main reason why they didn't want Trump and this administration in, and the people he appointed and put in these positions, and this is why we say prayers for this administration and President Trump. But FBI Director Kash Patel house was just swatted day before yesterday, and we're just not getting into this, and if you don't know, swatting can end very deadly. Some people refer it as attempted murder, and in most cases, it's nothing to play around with when it comes to swatting. But it seems like Kash Patel house was swatted again day before yesterday. So we're gonna jump into all this, man. It's honestly pretty crazy, but prayers for Trump and this administration. I know some are frustrated with Kash, Dan Bongino, Pam. We want to see arrest. We want to see accountability. This is what we voted for, and a lot of other things that we voted for that we are getting. Promises made, promises kept, and rooting for the America First agenda, man. Full transparency and accountability. And, and there was a reason why this man right here was appointed. And you know why. But again, a lot of people are still a little with everything that is taking place and very impatient, with everything that's going on. But we're still waiting on this, still waiting on that, the files, this, but again, y'all know how corrupt it is, and it's a lot of things I really, really, really want to say, but hey, they might take the video down. You know what I'm saying? Rick, please, sir, don't get canceled, sir. Please, sir. But I hope everybody's having an amazing week so far. Happy Monday. That your week is starting off well, But it's a lot of BS right now going on. LA dumpster fire in California. It's a complete disgrace what is taking place right now, man. You know, and they're trying to make it look as worse as possible. But again, a lot of things that are taking place right now, we expected it to happen, you know. But it's not like Trump didn't say what he was gonna do. Like we already knew this, you know. So people waving flags at a protest. I mean, it's just crazy right now. The Elon Musk thing that just took place a couple days ago after he was in the White House, smiling and hugging with President Trump, and even got the keys to the White House, and you know, things didn't go his way with the policies, the EV mandate. He didn't get this and that. So, you know, they done had a little alpha fight, claiming Trump's in the Epstein files. And now they're saying it might have been scripted or staged. The conspiracy theorists saying it might have been this, it might have been that. Elon Musk has now deleted all the posts except for kill the bill. You know, this all came out from the big, beautiful bill has stirred up a whole hot mess with, you know, the American people and Congress, and just a complete disconnect. And I think they ought to walk in Congress and just put people with their hands behind their back, audits, investigations, interrogations, and just put everybody against the wall or on the floor. Yeah, just make an example out of people, and we'll figure out who's clean and who's dirty. You know, it's a disgrace down there in Washington, man. A complete disgrace. But let's get into this. Again, he went on the Joe Rogan podcast, the Joe Rogan show, and said all this day before yesterday about being swatted and the Epstein files. They were talking about, they had a great conversation about a lot of things in the Epstein files and this and that. So if you want to go watch that, it's like 2 or 3 hours, something like that. You can go watch it. If we play it on here, the video get taken down and stuff like that. So.
And as director of the FBI, I have a responsibility. I'm not just going to bring a case because somebody hurt me. They did, and they continue to do it. Shit, my house just got swatted yesterday.
What?
Yeah, but...
You got swatted?
Oh, yeah.
The head of the FBI.
And there was inside reports saying it's not the first time. And then they were saying, and then we've seen, you know, threats on Trump, on the Trump administration, people in the Trump administration. There's been threats everywhere. There's been other people's houses swatted. There's been threats even at the borders. Tom Homan. I mean, this is real, you guys, and this is why I say prayers for this administration. You know, what they're doing and exposing the corruption and doing this and promising that, you know, it's to be expected. You know, it is to be expected.
Get swatted?
Yeah. These people it's the ultimate height of hypocrisy. They have 2 sets of rules. One against you and one for them.
Yeah. No. I know Tim had said something on. I wanted to check it out too.
Let's jump to this story from the Post Millennial. This is breaking from earlier today. FBI Director Kash Patel's home was swatted. That's crazy.
That's really shocking, to be honest.
Yeah, so I think we've got this.
Right? And as director of the FBI, I have a responsibility. I'm not just going to bring a case because somebody hurt me. They did, and they continue to do it. Shit, my house just got swatted yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. But
Get swatted?
Yeah.
Damn.
These people play.
And you can see Joe Rogan's face. He's like, because again, if you know what really goes on with swatting, and we've had fears like that because, you know, a lot of us content creators and people, they leak our IP, our addresses and everything, and they lie and they do this. You know, a lot, as y'all seen in the past, a lot of influencers, celebrities, content creators, you know, these people, you know, swatting really came popular with you know, with content creators, live streams. And I know a lot of y'all see swatting taking place on a lot of people's live streams, and people do it as like a funny little joke, but it's serious because it can end deadly. Again, if you know that swatting it's a very, very serious situation, and should only be used in serious, you know, when things are when there's actually wrongdoing or something's off, you know. But you don't play with people's life like that. You know, it can end deadly.
it's the ultimate height of hypocrisy. They have two sets of rules, one against you and one for them.
I really do believe Kash Patel is trying to do everything he can, and Dan Bongino is trying to do everything he can to go after the corruption. The Harmeet Dillon, the Civil Rights Division at the DOJ, just launched this case against Wisconsin for not having proper means of contesting elections or for filing complaints. Kash has released tons of documents to the GOP that they've published. He's now talking about seizing the devices from Fauci. I don't think Kash and Dan are going to be able to come on in day one and be like, we got them, boys. And just, we looked at, I think they got to build cases.
Yeah.
I think they got to do it methodically. And I think this machine, whatever this culture war or whatever, cold civil war, whatever it is, I hope Kash and Dan and Pam are taking their security very, very, very seriously.
Yeah.
Because when you announce on the biggest show in the biggest podcast in the world that you've seized Anthony Fauci's devices and you want to inform the American people as to the origin of COVID, there's military industrial complex interests who are going to say, yeah, none of that.
Yep.
So,
like I said earlier, you guys, on the type of timing that they're on, you know, and we know what they're against, and again, the corruption that trails deep, you know. Prayers for this administration, man, and President Trump. You know, and that's why I told y'all, be ready. We don't know what to expect. Any day from now, every single day it's something new. Something's breaking the news. We don't know what to expect next, man. Especially when it comes to this current administration.
I mean, I hope they're up for it.
That's kind of the same reason why they're saying nobody could get into this jail to kill Epstein. Like, I'm like, you're telling me with the most powerful people in the world that they couldn't find a way. And I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying that we can't pretend like those powers are so all encompassing that they could get to the head of the FBI, but not inside a jail.
We know about.
I thought of that too, because, you know, I'm just horrible and I just believe everyone's horrible. Because I thought, oh, or they could pay the guard $50 to choke him.
Or they've got, we know about Havana syndrome.
Right.
Directed energy weapons.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that conveys directly into, you know, Epstein apparently wrapping something around his neck or whatever as they're claiming that he did. But I got a real simple one for Kash and Dan.
What?
Let's try this. Okay. There's no way in or out, right?
Right.
And so nobody went in or out, right?
Right.
Except for the paramedics. Right?
Right.
Who are the only people who saw him before. They were the first people to see him when he killed himself. So, I mean, look, my point is, when you're like, there's no way someone could have killed him because there's no way in or out. And it's like, so did anybody go into the cell? No. So his body levitated out of the jail and into the ambulance? No, someone went and got him. Oh, should we investigate those people? Because what you're telling me now is that there were people in the jail cell with him, and then he was found dead.
Yeah. Are there videos of them giving CPR? No, they went in there. Who knows what happened?
Can we just?
Right.
I understand this doesn't necessarily apply like EMTs or anything, but just for if a guy is found standing next to a dead body, and he goes, just responding to reports of a dead body, and I found it. Who's the suspect? Perhaps the man standing next to the dead body. So the argument that there's no way in or out of the prison doesn't make any sense because that means we just investigate the paramedics as suspects.
Well, that's what Kash said on the way up here. That's what Kash said on the way up here, you know. But I was like, Roseanne, don't go dark. You love Kash Patel. You love Dan Bongino, and you're not going to go dark on this now.
Yeah,
positive.
I do think that the probability rests with if there was evidence, it was destroyed well before Kash and Dan got in, and they're going in now. And what can you say from a practical standpoint as the head of the FBI? Kash Patel can't come out and say, I swear they must have destroyed all the evidence because I don't believe it. He can't do that.
No.
You know what he did do? He said in an interview, I think it was, who's he talking to? Was it Brett Baer?
I think it was Brett.
That Comey is responsible for the largest criminal conspiracy in this country.
Yeah, he said that tonight too.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
and I want to see him carry out his intentions as it pertains to that.
Absolutely.
Well, what that I think has something to do with is they found that in the Sentinel system, which is where they put all the evidence, the FBI, it's where they catalog it and everything. It looks like under Comey, somewhere around the beginning of him taking over for Mueller as the head of the FBI, they put in a different level of security that I think they called it protected something. And when you put in things like when people were searching for Seth Rich in the beginning, it would come up as no response. There's nothing there. Well, it was there, but only people could get in there. So just a few days ago, Margaret Cleveland at the Federalist had put out an article that now they found out that there were tens of thousands of documents and information that was not able to be seen by Durham or by IG Horowitz because it was in this special classification that was created and that they were not told about it. So it looks like, because the whole thing is the entire Mueller-Weissman case was a cover-up for Crossfire Hurricane. Crossfire Hurricane went all the way up to Obama. It didn't stop when Trump went into office. It continued the entire time. And it appears that a lot of the evidence was hidden. And now, like Kash said on that Brett Baer interview, they just found all this new evidence. So I think that it's a conspiracy to defraud and hide information from the investigators, one a special counsel and one IG Horowitz. I think that might be the big part, but we have to remember they've never, ever, ever investigated the investigators, not the FBI or CIA.
There's this great video that went viral recently. I don't know if you guys saw it, where it's this old man with a metal detector on the beach, and it's a bunch of women having a bachelorette party, and the bride-to-be lost her ring in the sand. And so here's this old man who probably just goes on the beach and just wastes his day. I shouldn't say, but he's retired. And he comes and he finds, he beep, 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 scoops it up, picks the ring up. All of these women start screaming and cheering, and he has the biggest smile on his face. Like there is nothing more a man can be in that moment than helping a bunch of women do something with his like minor capability. You know what I mean? Like he never, that is to a man, that is cloud nine. That look on that man's face, I want to see it from Kash Patel when he's perp walking Comey, and his face is that image where his eyes are all big and and I just want to see that look on his face where he's like, "We got him, boys."
Comey spied on him.
I know. That's why I'm saying I want to see it. I want to see that moment.
We all want to see Comey arrested for something. He's about as, oh my God. I want to see one of them get arrested.
I want to see Kash holding the cuffs as he perp walks him to the car.
Yeah, that's what we all want.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
I don't know what will happen
behind your back.
When I hear the way Kash talks about Comey as the head of the FBI, I'm like, that is a bold thing to say. Yeah. The point I was bringing up about how Kash and Dan can't say things that are unofficial, like, there's no evidence in the record. They can't come out and say, I don't believe it, because they're going to find them sooner or later. They will be in court on these issues.
Yes.
And they're going to come out and say, you went on TV and said you as a law enforcement agent believed something without evidence, and it's going to be bad for any of their cases. So they do things very formally. Unfortunately, this is why, say, like when the Deepwater Horizon oil spill happened, no executive from BP is going to come out and be like, well, here's the truth.
Yeah,
we had this thing. They're going to lie.
Right.
Because they have to protect, because they don't want their insurance rates to go up. They got to protect against lawsuits. They don't want to face any damage. The FBI doesn't want to compromise court cases.
He did say in a lot of ways, I was kind of listening to what he was saying in a lot of ways, but he was saying, well, it's my intention and my duty to inform the American people about things that are going on that they may not know about. And then he went into China and India and fentanyl in the United States and the cost in lives and all kinds of devastation that we're paying. And he put a lot into that and then a little bit of this other stuff. So I thought, well, he was dripping it out in, parceling it out for us to learn something new as we're listening to old things that he's trying to put in certain contexts. And so, maybe that's how he has to play it out for us, because people don't even know about that.
Well, here's another good point. Normally we save the super chats, but this one needs to be in the segment. Josh Hensley says, how would paramedics know to come? Who found him? Who found Epstein?
We don't know, because The guards,
I mean, so that's
the guards were sleeping apparently.
But this is the question for Kash Patel when he's on Rogan and he says, "Look, there's no way in or out. He killed himself." It's like, who found him? It was a guard. Did you question the guard? Because maybe, like, I just think it's silly to try and argue nobody was there when, of course, many people were there.
I think he's just being very careful. Also, don't forget the entire lawfare crew, Brookings, Norm Eisen, all those people. They're watching everything these guys say to be able to jump on them, sue them. I mean, there is a squad of people that have been doing lawfare, and they would love nothing more than to put these guys in court and go after them for saying something wrong.
Or maybe he isn't dead.
Many people have said that.
Maybe they just
he's on a beach.
Whatever.
Somewhere, right?
Well, no, he's.
It would be funny if Kash came out and they were like, "What happened with Epstein?" And he went, "He wasn't killed."
Oh my God!
What does that mean?
He should have just said that. That would
Yeah.
make it
Actually,
more
still
exciting.
over at. He's actually still over at Little St. James. You just have to go over there right now.
Well, yeah. If he just said, "Look, no one went in there and killed Epstein," that's all I'm going to say. Everyone would have been like,